Good morning to you. I know I am a few minutes early today. I got a lot of things and I've got some help today. So here I am. You may not be able to see all that's going on here, but we've got special piano here. We've got a table set out for Ken Lynch's glasses that are coming, some crystal that he'll be playing for us at some point. He also has two I was going to say fiddles. Don't tell him I told you that. He's got two violins. Yeah, one's made out of a composite material, and one's actually a wooden violin, normal, natural violin. So those are all things that we have to look forward to this coming week. He's going to be with us all day on Sunday, and then again Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday evening at least 7 o'clock each evening, and we'll be live streaming that to you. So even if you're at home, you can tune in, and if you miss it right at 7, feel free to come back around and find us on Facebook, or again, I try to, within about 24 hours, get those posted to our YouTube page, and you can find links to the Facebook page and to the YouTube page at elmirafamily.com. When you open that up, you'll see a little section there that talks about how to find us. Well, for the quote today, one of my favorite quotes from Theodore Roosevelt, he said this: "Far better it is to dare mighty things, to win glorious triumphs, even though checkered by failure, than to take rank with those poor spirits who neither enjoy much or suffer much, because they live in the gray twilight that knows neither victory nor defeat." Far better, he says, it is to dare mighty things, to win glorious triumphs, even though checkered by failure, than to take rank with those poor spirits who neither enjoy much or suffer much, because they live in the gray twilight that knows neither victory nor defeat. That was Theodore Roosevelt. Well, this is your daily Elmira Baptist Church update for Thursday, June 4th, 2020. Let me start with some bad news. We had a fire over in Sassoon City yesterday. Some of you may have heard Roy Coulter's daughter's house burned, and so pray for her, as she is going to need to find a new place and all those details. She's looking for some pets that ran away in the midst of that fire and other things. So be praying for her. I hope you're praying for one another. I can't think of another time in my life, and I know I'm not that old, but another time in my life when we've had so many unusual things happen. We've had a presidential impeachment, we've had a coronavirus, we've had the response to the coronavirus where we were told, and if we're not essential workers, to stay home, not for a week or two, but literally for months. We've had the economic recession. Now we have helicopter crash in my city, Fairfield, bring down the power to many of us. We've got protests over the death of George Floyd and others, and then that led to that. What that didn't lead to, but then in taking advantage of that, there were some sons of Belial is the biblical term, wicked men that used it to loot and to vandalize and to steal. And on top of that, then now this fire in Sassoon City. Boy, just thing after thing after thing. But I'm glad to know that God is in control. Well, as part of this bigger picture, Ken Lynch's meetings here in California, several of them have been canceled because those churches are not able to meet. So I have invited him to just stay with us a few extra days. He was going to be with us June 7th through the 10th. He's now going to be with us June 7th all the way until the following Thursday or Friday, which is the 18th or the 19th. Now, he will preach to us on the 7th and on the 14th. So we have that to look forward to. Now, keep in mind that Ken Lynch lives by faith. He's not talked to me about the details of his situation, but I know he lives by faith. He lives off the generous offerings of God's people, and now half of his meetings in California have been canceled. I suspect, don't know, we haven't talked to those pastors, that they are not going to take a love offering for Ken Lynch. So if you would pray, ask the Lord what he'd have you do. Maybe you can give some extra to the love offering for Ken Lynch that we'll be taking. You can also designate that If you're mailing in a check, just put on your check Lynch, Lynch, or if you go online, I need to check and see about that being a love offering. Let me write myself a note, literally, while I think about it. But consider what you can give. And then also, and Cindy, you asked me, and I've already forgotten, I did not respond correctly. We do need to provide a few extra meals for Ken Lynch. Not just this next week, which I still need 2 more meals for this next week, but for the following week, which would be the 15th through the 19th of June. So if you can be a part of that, please let me know. Send me a text, send me an email, call me, and I would be glad to have your help with those meals. I found some, I hope, encouraging scriptures. If you'll take your Bible, turn to 1 Thessalonians. As I was reading through 1 Thessalonians, I came across these verses, and they just really expressed my heart for you. This is 1 Thessalonians chapter 2, and verse 17. Paul says, "But we, brethren, being taken from you for a short time in presence, not in heart, endeavored the more abundantly to see your face with great desire. Wherefore we would have come unto you, even I, Paul, but Satan hindered us." That's the way I feel. I've been taken away from you, not in heart, but certainly in presence. We've not been able to see each other. We've been hindered. And then if you look at the next chapter, chapter 3, verse 7, he says this, "Therefore, brethren, we were comforted over you in all our affliction and distress by your faith. For now we live, if ye stand fast in the Lord." I'm going to skip down to verse 10. "Night and day, praying exceedingly that we might see your face and might perfect that which is lacking in your faith." So he says we were comforted because he heard about their faith. He said, "We heard that you were standing fast in the Lord, but we still had a desire to see you. We still continued to pray exceedingly, night and day, because we wanted to perfect what was lacking in your faith." And it's been a blessing as your pastor. It's been a blessing to watch you reach out and minister to each other in faith. It's been a blessing because when I have talked to you, whether it's been a phone call or a text, I guess that's not talking, but a text, or even just a chance visit, hearing about how you're trusting the Lord in these trying times. Many of you without work, some of you it's been a blessing to hear that you're maintaining your faith, that you're standing fast in the Lord. The giving to Elmira Baptist Church, another example of your faith. This could be a time that we all drew back and said, well, you better just hold on to what we have. But you've not done that. You've given generously to the church. You've given generously to the building program. You've given generously to John and Kathy Nordstrom. I know I'm asking now for you to give generously to Ken Lynch, but I know that the Lord will bless our faith if we'll just give what He asks us to give. I'm not putting pressure on you. I don't keep tabs of who responds to these. I have a bookkeeper who does that. I have some men who count the offerings on Sunday. I'm asking you to ask the Lord what He would have you give. And I know we've had to, as a family, consider what the Lord would ask us to give above and beyond what we would normally give. So just go to the Lord if you would. Show God, again, your faith. He knows it. I know He knows it. But show God your faith. Let's be an example to other believers of faith in these difficult times. Well, this one has been live. Again, I'm here at the church building. I hope to see you Sunday. If your last name begins with the letters N through Z, again, if you'll come at the 11 o'clock service in the morning. And if your last name begins with A through M, I invite you to come at the 5 o'clock service in the evening. And all of you to tune in at 9:45 as WT gives us a virtual Sunday school class. Well, we'll meet again tomorrow at 11 o'clock. Remember, God is in control. So you just drag that across, that red button at the bottom, drag